What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and for today I wanted to give you guys a first look at Phantom X, the only character from update 4.3 that I haven't given you guys a look at just yet. And that's not because this guy's a bad character or anything like that, because personally I think he's one of the best characters in the game and most definitely one of the best characters in the speed class. Especially for a character that doesn't have a uniform, he stands above the rest. Seriously, his damage and overall survivability is freaking amazing, and I was gonna hold out a little bit longer and wait until I got him to tier 2. That way I can show you guys the upper echelon of this guy's potential, but I didn't want to mislead you guys into thinking that this guy actually needs his tier 2 to be an amazing character, because he really doesn't need it. Because if you take a look at his tier 2 passive, sure, it's an amazing tier 2 passive, but it only works against mutants, okay? So it's not really doing too much for him in the grand scheme of things, since we don't have that many mutants in the game right now. Sure, we have Jean Grey, Wolverine, Deadpool, and a few other characters that you will often see in PvP, but the majority of the other characters are classified as humans or aliens. So this tier 2 passive is a PvP oriented tier 2 passive. However, where you're gonna find that this guy does the most amount of work is actually in PvE, in my personal opinion. However, because he has 4 iframes, a native heal, and mind control in his kit, I think he'll be decent in PvP. But because he's a speed character, and speed characters natively have really low stats, and even though he has the iframes and stuff, if you catch him out of an iframe, he's gonna die very quickly. So I don't see him being a dominant force in PvP. I more so see him being a very good character in PvE, because his damage is actually really good, and coupled with the fact that he has 4 iframes, like I mentioned, really good crowd control. He has 3 means of crowd control: the 5, the 4, and the 3. But the most important is actually the 4, because of the fact that it gives him 2 seconds of mind control. Now 2 seconds is not really that long, but because he's rocking 4 iframes and he's constantly switching between them, you're constantly interrupting the enemies, and this 2 seconds often feels like it's 4 or 5 seconds. And on top of that, he can also reduce the enemy's defenses using his 5th skill, which is also his strongest skill, guys. On top of that, if you make mistakes with this guy, no problem, he has really good and reliable healing. Okay, it's not to the level of Wolverine or anything like that, but he's very safe. Having 4 iframes, lots of crowd control, and native healing, he's absolutely a freaking badass in my book, guys, and I love watching him fly around and dominate, and I wanted to share that with you guys today. So let's actually take a look at his overall details, and then we'll dive into a little bit more of his build. So right here you can see for yourself, I'm rocking 130 for attack speed, 52% for critical rate, 157 for critical damage, 49% for ignore defense, and 47% for reduced cooldown duration. Now in my opinion, I think you should go as offensive as possible with this guy. So as soon as I finish his gears, I'm going to be giving him 2 physical attack with some critical rate and critical damage. Nothing else, okay? Even though he has the native healing, I don't think you should give this guy any kind of HP Urus. You want to make him as much of a beast as possible, since I don't see him getting a uniform to buff his damage in the future. I just don't see it, because this is exactly how he looks in the comic book. But who knows, maybe Netmarble will pull something together for this guy. But even if they don't, he's actually really freaking powerful, and he doesn't actually need a uniform or even his tier 2 to be a very good and capable character. When it comes to a skill rotation for this guy, I generally like to go 5-4, then I'll go 3-2-1, but you can mix it up, and as long as you prioritize 5 and 4 off cooldown, you should be golden with this guy. Because of the healing and the constant iframing, this guy's an absolute beast. Now for his ISO set, I have power for Angry Hulk, but this is not the best ISO set for him. Overdrive is what you want, because of the fact that he gives himself some all speed right here from his 3rd skill, and some all speed right here from his 5th skill. So for me, I'm already at 130, so my build is definitely not as optimal as it could be, because every time I trigger the 3rd or the 5th, I'm just losing out on the extra stats that I could be getting from those skills. However, I had a really painful experience trying to roll for overdrive for my Deadpool, where it cost me 35 million gold, and I was traumatized. So I decided, you know what, I'm not going to try right now, because I have a lot of characters that I want to work on. I want to work on my Psylocke, my Deadpool, and I definitely want to work work on Strife, so I wasn't willing to sacrifice another 35 million gold to get this guy the perfect ISO set. So later on in the future, once I build my other priority characters, then I'll come back and I'll probably change this to give him the right set. Okay, for his obelisk, guys, I definitely recommend that you go super offensive. Anything with critical rate or critical damage and a proc should be golden for this guy. But if you want to give him some HP, that's actually really good as well. Personally, for me, I'm going to be trying to give him critical damage, critical rate, and hopefully a 200% damage proc. But that being said, guys, let's actually jump into some gameplay. We have these world boss dimension risks right now, so I'm going to run them with him, and then we're also going to jump into a little bit of Shadowland gameplay as well. Alright boys, so we're going to test him really quickly right here against Corvus and Proxima. But this stage right here, Corvus has a ton of dodge, so I'm actually going to run Bullseye's lead, and then we're going to see how fast we can clear this. This is more of a DPS check than anything else, because I already know that he has a really good survivability with the 4 iframes and the healing. But I want to see how fast he can clear this thing. And you guys can see what I'm saying about the 2 seconds looking like it's 4 seconds. Just keep your eye on the timer every time I use the 4 skill, and you'll see exactly what I mean. Took a little bit of damage there, but just look. See, he's still just standing there. So that 2 seconds is just feeling more like 5 seconds. I feel like his forward kind of works. This idiot ran into his cutscene. Anyways, I feel like his forward kind of works similar to Winter Soldier's fear skill, where as long as they're standing in that smoke, they're just gonna keep being mind controlled. And once the smoke goes away, then the effects just slowly start to fade. Proxima's trying to snipe me from a distance. Jeez, he ran so fast too, I couldn't even get to her. So it's just taking me a minute and a half to clear this. Not the best clear time in the world, to be honest with you guys, but keep in mind his build is not completed yet. But let's get out of here and we'll test him out again against Black Dwarf, and I'll show you guys how he performs there as well. Alright boys, so this one should be a little bit more interesting, because both Ebony and Black Dwarf in this stage right here, whenever they're down to their second phase, they actually cut the amount of time that they get debuffed for by half. So once I get this guy down to his second phase, he's actually going to start getting rid of the mind control. But he's really not that big of a challenge. Black Dwarf is actually pretty annoying, since Phantom X is a physical character. Alright boys, so now the real fun begins, having to deal with Black Dwarf. It will be interesting to see how much longer this takes compared to going up against Corvus and Proxima. Let me actually... Ooh, that was a bad move. Why did I run into that? Why did I run into that? I'm a scrub, guys. I know for sure I won't be able to break this guy's shield, so I'm actually going to have to try to mind control him every time he goes into the shield to pull him out of it. Ooh. See, I'm actually very surprised that he's doing so much damage to Black Dwarf, even though he's a physical heavy character. Ooh. See, this makes no sense. That attack always pisses me off, because even though I always see it coming, the radius is not shown until after you get hit by it a couple times. It's actually really annoying. Get out of that, you clown. And they do it like that on purpose. Why is he running after me with his physical shield up? Like, he never even went critical. He just started attacking while his shield was still up. This guy is so annoying. And I have to be careful with this guy because I don't know when he's gonna jump and do that smash again. And we got him. So just under 2 minutes, a little bit more than it took me to finish off Corvus and Proxima, which is not too bad considering I was up against a character like Black Dwarf here who is really freaking annoying, and he has a really high physical defense. But let's jump out of here and jump into some Shadowland. Alright boys, so we're gonna run floor 15 here really quickly with this guy to see how fast he can get it done. Alright, Iron Man, let's play. Of course, Iron Man is the first one to get off an attack. Still missed, but Iron Man in this stage is so freaking annoying. And now he turned on them. Loving it. This guy's just wrecking, guys. This guy's wrecking them. Holy, they didn't even get off an attack. Well, against me at the very least. I just turned them against each other and it was over. Let's make it happen. Kate Bishop is off to the side trying to drop trip mines. Nah, you're not getting off no attacks, girl. Not today. I'm gonna turn you against. I love a good cat fight, guys. I love it. Ladies, don't fight over me, please. Ladies, don't fight over me. Don't fight over me, ladies. Oh my goodness, don't fight over me, fight for me. I'm telling you, man, Phantom X is absolutely freaking awesome, guys. How many tier 1 characters do you know that can freaking complete an entry mode, okay? Under a minute without a damage proc, guys. This guy is a freaking beast, and the fact that he's in the speed class shows you guys that Netmarble can make really powerful speed characters when they want to, okay? But that's all I have to share for today. Like always, thank you so much for watching. Hope it was informative, and I will see you guys in the next one. I really can't wait to tier 2 this guy and see how much stronger I can make him. For those of you guys who already have this guy at tier 2, let me know how he's been for you, man. But I'm out, guys. Peace.